is the motion, or is the article that references the individual allocations in total that are being transferred from certified free cash regarding the hurricane expenses of Hurricane Irene. And that amount has gone up. I'll allow the town administrator a moment to explain why that has gone up. And therefore, it requires us the opportunity to reconsider. Reconsideration, parliamentarily, requires that one of the folks in the affirmative, and that vote on December 8th was approved earlier tonight. The minutes indicate that the 12 members who were here all voted in favor of approving Article 6 as submitted. So that means that Mr. Kitchen, Mr. Reynolds, Mr. Fiore, Mr. Chamberlain, Ms. Kelly, Mr. Brooks, Mr. Pelletier, Mr. Alford, Mr. Salzillo, Mr. Howard, Mr. Souza, or Mr. Degno could enter the motion to reconsider Article 6. The chair, and there would have to be from one of those aforementioned individuals, a second for the same motion. No one who was present or was not present at that meeting could make the motion or the second. So at this time, if you would agree to, please, I would accept a motion for reconsideration of Article 6.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to reconsider Article 6.
There is a motion by Mr. Reynolds, who voted in the affirmative at the last meeting on December 8th for reconsideration of Article 6. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second by Mr. Fiore. Motion is appropriate. Therefore, all those in favor of the motion for reconsideration of Article 6, please indicate by voting aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Chair votes aye. The ayes have it. Article 6 is now up for reconsideration. Mr. Kern, you have the floor.
Actually, coming back to me how this all occurred, it actually involved one of the esteemed members of your committee. Mr. Kitchen bumped into our tree warden, I won't mention how early in the morning.
Very early.
Over by his house.
On my way to work.
I don't know, somehow there was a discussion about running out of money, which I think is probably not unusual between the chairman of A&F and the tree warden. And Steve said, hey, if you spend a lot of money on that storm, you should probably go talk to Jen. Well, one of us should have thought of that a long time ago, but we got in right under the wire. He called me. I said, give me the invoices. I asked the chief, who's kind of our point man on the FEMA application, to take the invoices and also include them in the application to FEMA for reimbursement. So they're in. The amount of money is $13,925. That changes the total to $117,598. The amount of money we requested for reimbursement from FEMA, the chief told me today, is $141,000. We're actually making money on the deal, potentially. And the
So we
reason,
need more storms.
however, if NEMA doesn't kick in there 25%, we drop back down. But Senator Rodericks was very helpful in addressing that situation with the previous reimbursement process associated with the floods from the year before. The reason for that, to explain, they reimburse the use of our trucks during the day, during the work day, whereas, so they don't pay the personnel that are getting paid regular time. They reimburse for the trucks. And we consider that, we don't consider that an additional expenditure under the budget. So there's a difference for those who are.
So, what we're doing is we're taking this money out of certified free cash with the anticipation that it will be returned from both FEMA and NEMA.
And MEMA, I hope.
MEMA, rather. Okay. So, as we had the real lengthy discussion about this, what we are indeed doing by affecting this change is hopefully putting in some delay any further requests from the tree warden for additional money for his expense account. Let's hope that we have no dramatic storms between now and the end of the fiscal year. Does anyone have any questions regarding this? And if not, the chair would entertain a motion to entertain or to recommend the voters' approval of the new article 6. and you can make, we can have a motion made, then we can do it under discussion. Okay, Fernando, all right?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to recommend approval of Article 6 as amended.
Yeah, or as updated.
Updated.
Yeah, that's fine. Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Alpert. Discussion, Mr. Susan.
Yeah, as far as the money that we will get reimbursed, it will all have to go to free cash, regardless of what the amount is.
General fund, which is what we meant.
Right. That,
So, it goes into the general fund, and those guys can't, and so your departments can't touch it. Goes into
Right.
general revenue, which will eventually become free cash if you didn't spend all your money.
right, okay. Regardless of what the amount is. So let's
Regardless of
say
what the
we
amount.
do get more than,
141, all goes into general fund.
Okay.
Other questions by members? Hearing no additional questions. There is a motion on the floor. All those in favor of the motion, please indicate by voting aye. Aye. All opposed? Chair votes aye, the ayes have it. Anything else that we need to be aware of for special town meeting, Mr. Kern? I believe what this does is bring our business to a close for the special town meeting, except for I think we want to take a vote recommending, for the recommendation on Article 16, that we agree with you that it should not be considered. Correct?
You take that vote before we even make the motion, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think we can take a position that we would like that,
Recommend postpone.
recommend indefinite postponement.
I think that seems reasonable.
I would entertain a motion for Article 16, recommending indefinite postponement.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to recommend
Yeah. Okay.
postponement of Article 16 indefinitely.
That's acceptable. Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. There's a second by Mr. Fiore. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion? Aye. All opposed? Chair votes aye. The ayes have it. I think that concludes our business. Mr. Kern, one thing that we will need to do is go over the votes, as you'll be the one responsible for taking care of the special town meeting printing of the warrants available for voters. You'll want to include in that, I think.
My stuff's already posted.
Okay, that's fine. You and I can talk about that, how it works, yeah. But bottom line is, I want to make sure that our votes are recorded so that the voters at town meeting know
Correct.
what our recommendation is.
Certified at
That's more good news. Why don't you tell the members that?
1.25 million.
I'm sorry, I didn't just... certified free cash number as of July,
The end of last fiscal year, June 30th.
June 30th, July 1st.
1.249 million, 1.25.
Unaudited.
What was the last year, Mr. Kern? What was the prior year number?
Unless I'm skipping a year, I'm at about 150,000. That was either last year or the year before.
Increased by $1 million in 1 year?
Remember, I had just enough to go through that special town meeting. I may have forgotten a year, but we've either moved $1 million in 2 years or $1 million in 1 year.
Members, I thank you. It was an ambitious agenda this evening, and I appreciate your patience. At this time, I remind you that the special town meeting is 7 o'clock on January 23rd. I see no reason to ask you to hold your calendars open for any additional considerations that we may need to make an hour or so before. I just don't see that occurring. So I remind you that I'd love to see you there on January 23rd. And at this point, the chair will entertain one final motion. There is a motion to adjourn by Mr. Reynolds. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Pelletier. All those in favor of the motion? Aye. All opposed? Chair votes aye. Good night, everyone.